Hello everybody, Eric again. Like and subscribe. Here we go. Let's continue reading about Weird Al Yankovic. 1998 to 2014, Reinvention. On January 23rd, 1998, Yankovic had LASIK eye surgery to correct his extreme myopia. Yankovic had the surgery for free when he agreed to let KTLA Morning News broadcast it live on television. When Running with Scissors debuted in 1999, he unveiled a radically changed look. In addition to shedding his glasses, he had shaved off his mustache and grown out his hair. He had previously shaved his mustache in 1983 with a video of Wiki to resemble Desi Arnaz. In 1989 for segments of the UHF music video, and in 1996 for the Amish Paradise video. Yankovic reasoned, if Madonna's allowed to reinvent herself every 15 minutes, I figure I should be good for a change at least once every couple of decades. He parodied the reaction to this new look in a commercial for his non-existent MTV Unplugged special. The commercial featured Yankovic in the short-haired wig from the music video for Hanson's River, claiming his new look was an attempt to get back to the core of what I'm all about, that being the music. Running with Scissors was followed by his next studio album, Poodle Hat, in 2003. Poodle Hat was met with mixed reviews without any standout singles. Although the album peaked at number 17 on the Billboard 200, Yankovic's following album was Straight Out of Linwood in 2006, which featured the single White and Nerdy, a parody of Wyden by Millionaire. White and Nerdy became Yankovic's first Billboard Top 10 single, debuting at number 29 and peaking at number 9, Canadian Idiot, a parody of American Idiot by Green Day, also charted in the Hot 100. The album as a whole reached number 10 in the Billboard 200, and by 2008 was Yankovic's first certified platinum album, having reached over 1 million sales. Following Straight Out of Linwood, Yankovic started to explore digital distribution of his songs. On October 7, 2008, Yankovic released to the iTunes Store Whatever You Like, a parody of the T.I. song of the same title, which Yankovic said he had come up with 2 weeks before. Yankovic said that the benefit of digital distribution is that I don't have to wait around while my songs get old and dated. I can get them out of the internet almost immediately. In 2009, Yankovic released 4 more songs. Craigslist on June 16th, Skipper Dan on July 14th, CNR on August 4th, and Ringtune on August 25th. These 5 digitally released songs were packaged as a digital EP titled Internet Leaks, with Whatever You Like retroactively included in the set. In 2011, Yankovic completed his 13th studio album, titled Apocalypse, which was released on June 21st, 2011. The album contains the 5 songs from the previous Internet Leaks digital download release, a polka medley called Poker Face, a song called TMZ, for which Bill Plampton created an animated music video, and 5 other new songs. Yankovic had reported an interest in parodying Lady Gaga's material, and on April 20th, announced that he had written and recorded a parody of Born This Way, titled Perform This Way, to be the lead single for his new album. However, upon first submitting it to Lady Gaga's manager for approval, which Yankovic does as a courtesy, he was not given permission to release it commercially, as he had previously done under similar circumstances with his parody of James Blunt's You're Beautiful, which was titled You're Pitiful. Yankovic then released the song for free on the internet. Soon afterwards, Gaga's manager admitted that he had denied the parody of his own accord without forwarding the song to his client, and upon seeing it online, Lady Gaga granted permission for the parody. Yankovic has stated that all of his proceeds from the parody and its music video will be donated to the Human Rights Campaign to support the human rights themes of the original song. Yankovic was also a judge for the 10th Annual Independent Music Awards that supports independent artists' careers. Yankovic stated in September 2013 that he was working on a new album, and in 2014 he used social media websites to hint at a July 15th release of the new album. The album artwork entitled Mandatory Fun were confirmed by his publisher. Mandatory Fun was released to strong critical praise and was the #1 debut album on the Billboard charts the week of its release. Joined by Yankovic's approach for releasing 8 music videos over 8 continuous days that drove viral attention to the album, as described below. It became Yankovic's first #1 album. Additionally, the song World Crimes, a parody of Robin Thicke's Blurred Lines, reached number 39 on the top 100 singles for the week. For the same week, this is Yankovic's 4th top 40 single following Eat It, Smells Like Nirvana, and White and Dirty. It made him the 3rd music artist after Michael Jackson and Madonna to have a top 40 single in each decade since the 1980s. Uh, 2015 to present, transition from studio albums. In the interview promoting Mandatory Fun, Yankovic said that, with the end of his recording contract, he was unlikely to release any more albums, in the sense of recording and releasing that many songs at a time. Instead, he said he would likely switch to releasing singles and EPs over the internet, allowing him to release music faster, particularly parodies that can quickly become dated. He has released no albums, and indeed few songs, since Mandatory Fun. In a 2017 interview, he told Rolling Stone he can't tell you when any material is coming out. Inspiration could strike tomorrow, and I might have something out next month. There's no plan. It's just going to be whenever it winds up being. After several years of fan-driven campaigns, Yankovic received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2018. In March 2018, Yankovic released the Hamilton Polka, a medley of several songs from the musical Hamilton written by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Yankovic and Miranda had met and become friends before the latter's work on Hamilton, and had discussed a possible music project together. After the success of Hamilton, Miranda provided Yankovic the score from the musical, hoping that Yankovic would create a few singles from it, but Yankovic ultimately created a full polka medley. The song was the first polka to chart on Billboard's digital song sales chart. After Hamilton premiered on Disney Plus in July 2020, Yankovic released a video version of the Hamilton polka that sends his song to video clips from the show. Also in March, Yankovic released 2 remixes of songs by Portugal The Man, Feel It Still, and Live in the Moment. In 2020, he collaborated with the band on their single Who's Gonna Stop Me, which was released for Indigenous Peoples Day. Since Mandatory Fun, Yankovic has focused less on new songs than on projects such as his tours. In the 2022 parody biopic, Real the Al Yankovic Story. That year, Yankovic told the Los Angeles Times that he was not writing many new parodies because it had become harder to tell which new songs would be big hits, due to what the newspaper described so as popular music trending more towards Michael Nutch's than a monoculture, not the end, than a monoculture. Yankovic released a new polka medley, Polka Mania, on July 19, 2024, featuring his take on Flowers, Bad Guy, and Old Town Road, among others. Because he had not released a polka in 10 years, he considered this the opportunity to include his White Whales, though limited the songs to those that reached #1 on the Billboard charts. The single included the release of video created by several animators that Yankovic had worked with in past videos, such as Bill Plimpton, Ninja Blick Studios, Liam Lynch, and Jarrett Heather, as well as new collaborations with artists like Sarac and Vivian Medrano. Yankovic co-headlined Wyatt Fest in September 2025 Chicago, along with Green Day, Blink-182, Jack White, Weezer, and Idols. Yankovic said he had turned down a 7-figure offer to perform at the 2025 Wrath Comedy Festival, saying that I'm doing enough that I don't need to take any amount of money if it makes me feel icky, and that kind of did. Personal life. Yankovic married Suzanne Krajewski, a marketing executive at 20th Century Fox. After they met in 2001, they were introduced to each other on a blind date by their mutual friend Bill Mummy. Their daughter Nina was born in 2003. They lived in Los Angeles, where they own a house previously owned by writer Jack S. Margolis and rapper Heavy D. In contrast to his stage persona, Yankovic is known by friends and associates to be polite, shy, and introverted, even among family. He is a Christian, and a married couple from the church he attends can be seen in the background on the cover of his album, Poodle Hat. His religious upbringing is reflected in his abstinence from profanity, alcohol, and drugs. On April 9, 2004, Yankovic's parents were found dead at their home in Fallbrook, California, the victims of accidental carbon monoxide poisoning from their fireplace. Hours after his wife notified him of this, he made the decision to go on with his concerts in Appleton, Wisconsin. He later said, "Since my music had helped many of my fans through tough times, maybe it would work for me as well. It would be at least give me a break from subbing all the time." Their deaths occurred following the release of Poodle Hat, which was Yankovic's lowest-selling album in 20 years. He considered the Appleton Show, and subsequent tour dates, therapeutic. If I didn't have anything to distract me, I probably would have spiraled into an even deeper depression. For a couple of hours each night, I could go on stage and put on a big fake smile and pretend like everything was just okay. In a 2014 interview, he cited the deaths of his parents. For a couple of hours each night. In the 2014 interview, he cited the deaths of his parents as the worst thing that had ever happened to him, adding, "I know it's exactly that at some point, probably, I'd have to, live through the death of my parents, but I never thought it would be at the same time, and so abruptly." Yankovic became a vegetarian in 1992 when his girlfriend gave him a copy of the 1987 John Robbins book, Diet for a New America. What she said made a very compelling argument for a strict vegetarian diet. When asked how he can ritualize with performing shows at events such as the Great American Web Cook-Off as a vegetarian, he replied the same way: "I can rationalize playing at a college even though I'm not a student anymore." In a 2011 interview with On Milwaukee, he clarified his stance on his diet. "I am still a vegetarian, and I am trying to be vegan. And I try to be a vegan, but I occasionally cheat. If there's a cheese pizza on the band bus, I might sneak a piece." In 1998, Yankovic underwent LASIK eye surgery to correct his nearsightedness, as his glasses were part of his signature look prior to the surgery. Yankovic considered wearing fake glasses, but decided against it. Around this time, he had also decided to shave off his trademark mustache. Musical style. Main article. List of songs recorded by Weird Al Yankovic. Parodies. Yankovic is well known for creating parodies of contemporary radio hits, which typically make up about half of his studio releases. Unlike other parody artists, such as Alan Sherman, Yankovic and his band strive to keep the backing music in his parodies the same as the original, transcribing the original song by ear and re-recording the song for the parody. In some cases, after Yankovic has requested that the original band allow his parody, the band will offer to help out with the recreation. Dire Straits members Mark Knopfler and Guy Fletcher perform on Money for Nothing, such Beverly Hillbillies. Yankovic's parody of Dire Straits' Money for Nothing, while Imagine Dragons provided Yankovic with advice on how to recreate some of the electronic sounds they used for Radioactive in Yankovic's parody Inactive. Yankovic's career in novelty and comedy music has outlasted many of his mainstream parody targets, such as Tony Bassell, MC Hammer, and Men Without Hats. Yankovic's continued success included including the top 10 single White and Nerdy, and the album Straight Outta Linwood in 2006 has enabled him to escape the one-hit wonder stigma often associated with novelty music. Yankovic considers his body of work to primarily feature parodies rather than satires of the original song and artist, as he found that satire of songs or artists has already been done before. Most Yankovic songs consist of the original song's music with a separate, unrelated set of amusing lyrics. Yankovic's humor normally lies more in creating unexpected incongruity between an artist's image and the topic of the song, contrasting the style of the song with its content, such as the songs Amish Paradise, White and Nerdy, and You're Pitiful, or in pointing out trends or words which have become pop culture clutches, such as eBay and Don't Download this song. Yankovic's parodies are often critical in popular culture, including television. See the TV album, films, The Saga Begins, and food. See the food album. Yankovic claims he has no intention of writing serious music, and his reasoning, there's enough people that do unfunny music. I would leave the serious stuff to Paris Hilton and Kevin Federline. Yankovic considered that his first true satirical song was Smells Like Nirvana, which references unintelligible lyrics in Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit. Other satirical songs include Achy Breaky Song, which refers to the song Achy Breaky Heart. The song's just 6 words long, which refers to the repetitious lyrics, and Got My Mind Set on You, and Perform This Way, set to Lady Gaga's Born This Way, that drew inspiration from Lady Gaga's outlandish but confident attitude. Yankovic is the sole writer for all his songs, and for legal and personal reasons, does not accept parody submissions or ideas from fans. There exists, however, one exception to this rule. Madonna was reportedly talking with a friend, and rhetorically asked when Yankovic was going to turn her like a virgin into like a surgeon. Madonna's friend was a mutual friend of Yankovic's manager, Jay Levy, and eventually Yankovic himself heard the story from Levy. In writing his parodies as well as his original songs, Yankovic spent a great deal of time in deciding the right words that not only matched the beat of the original song, but that fit the theme of the parody. He says that the lyrics of some songs have taken him weeks to write, as he promotes the various choices, sometimes entering a zombie phase, as he mulls these over in his home. For example, Yankovic believes he could have written a completely different version of White and Nerdy based on the alternative choices of lyrics he had come up with and had discarded for the final song. He has also done significant research for other song parodies to get facts and keywords for certain areas of knowledge, such as For I Think, I'm a Clone Now, or Hospitals for Like a Surgeon. Yankovic has documented all these past lyrical attempts, first through blenders, and then compositicized in case he needs to go back for future songs. Polka medleys. Most of Yankovic's studio albums include a polka medley of about a dozen contemporary songs at the time of the album, with the choruses of memorable lines of various songs juxtaposed for numerous effects. In Yankovic's early career, before recording his first album, he had performed such polka medleys in live shows in California, though then using songs from lesser-known bands like Bad Brains and the Plasmatics. He had been inspired to do so from Spike Jones, who had transitioned from classical music into polka. Yankovic said that converting these songs to polka was the way God intended. Yankovic did not include a medley on his first album, but considered this for his second, in 3D, recognizing that it would only work if he used well-known songs. The resulting polkas on 45, which features songs from Devil, Deep Purple, Berlin, and the Beatles, was popular, and the polka medley became a staple of all but one of Yankovic's future albums. Yankovic said that fans will be rioting in the streets. I think if I didn't do a polka medley, more current polka medleys feature songs that Yankovic had wanted to parody, but which had proved difficult, such as Daft Punk's Get Lucky, which lacks sufficient lyrics to parody. The polkas are recorded in the studio, including the sound effects, which are performed live during recording, and Yankovic considered one of his favorite parts of recording. In 2018, Yankovic created a medley of songs from the musical Hamilton, the Hamilton Polka. Bye for now.